We are on day 9. So day 9 is contour, and I do have the ABH cream contour kit. I have only used cream contour the one time when I first got this, and so it's a little terrifying. Also, all 3 shades at the bottom look pretty much the same to me, so I'm just gonna guess which one I'm supposed to use where. I have not done a lot of contouring previously, so this could end up being absolutely hilarious. I am just gonna go ahead and lay down everything where I think it should go for shadows and light, and then I'm gonna use my Clarisonic to blend it out to try and give it the best opportunity to actually be blended out well. I did also move my mirror back, so hopefully I will be able to see fairly well without going out of frame. So here we go. This is me, all fresh face with nothing on, and now we're gonna see what happens when I try to contour. So obviously that is so dark. I'm just gonna trust the process. One of the things that I love about makeup is that there are things that when you're doing them along the way, it just seems absolutely crazy. I do want to give myself a little more of a jawline here. And then at the end, it just turns into something really beautiful. And one of the times that you really get to see a lot of that is with drag makeup, actually, where at the beginning of drag makeup with the eyebrows pasted down and nothing drawn on and weird powder, looks crazy, but it ends up being something really, really beautiful. So it's interesting, and I really enjoy makeup. So I'm going to start with, I really want this to kind of thin my face out down here, but I don't want it to just look like I have a beard in the end. So we're going to hope that that manages to fade out pretty well. And then I've never really contoured my nose, but since this is all about doing things we haven't done before, I may as well give it a try. I'm actually going to use an e.l.f. eyeliner brush, just a flat brush, and hopefully it'll help me get straight lines. I like my nose the way it is, so I've never really seen any need to contour it, but maybe I will learn that I have a new favorite way of looking at my nose. So I'm just going to see how straight I can get this. With my luck, I'll end up giving myself a completely crooked nose. I'll go from a nose I really loved to the nose that now needs to go to a plastic surgeon to look like it belongs on my face. Okay, do know that it looks weird if you connect the tip contour to the side contour. I've never understood why people do that, because it's not how your nose actually is shaped normally. So it just seems weird. And then bring this up. Maybe this will help me get my eyebrows a little more even up here too, since I have an issue getting my eyebrows to the same place on the inside. And then so that's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to put any up here on my forehead, just because I have a small forehead, and so I don't see any point in adding shadow to try to make my forehead smaller. Which brush do I want to use? Yeah, I'm just going to go in with this. So I'm going to start out, I'm going to use the lightest shade, which is Fair, which makes sense. I'm going to put some down the middle and in the middle of my forehead. This brush is probably way too big for this, but I didn't have another really good dense brush to use. And then I'm going to put it on the highest parts of my cheekbones. And I think after I put all of the contour on, I'm probably just going to go ahead and dot my foundation around and just blend it all in together. It seems like the best option. Or it's a completely terrible idea, and we'll all get to learn how terrible it is right here. So, middle of the chin. And then with the neutral, which is the middle shade here, I'm just going to go right around the contour so that it has something to blend into. I'm really curious why, like, what people so I'm just going to do above here, and we'll see. I don't know that I necessarily want like a crazy carved out cheekbone, but I do want to be able to see the contour when I'm done. So there's the contour in places. Maybe I will add just a little bit actually right up near my hairline in Havana. Just, oh, that seems like a lot. I want just a little bit just to sort of round it out, because I feel like the top of my head is very square and then the bottom of my head is very round. And then what's left I'll just add to my jaw down here. And I'm not going to put any, I see a lot of people put it under their chin. I'm trying to give myself more of a heart-shaped face because my face is naturally very round down here. So I'm not going to put any under my chin. And then I am going to, I think I'm actually going to try to use my Clarisonic and blend it all out first. And then we'll see what to do about foundation. So here goes. Okay, so that is still really dark, but I am going to put foundation over top of it, so it's fine. I don't want to put a really full coverage foundation over top of it because that would obviously defeat the purpose. So I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Mega Cushion Foundation. This is in light ivory, and I used this a ton during the summer, so hopefully it's not going to run out while I'm doing this. I don't know, there still seems to be a lot of product. And I do realize that it's cushion foundation and that me using a brush basically defeats the purpose of it being a cushion foundation. But I don't actually like using the cushion, but I really like the formula of the foundation. So, and it's makeup. I don't have to follow any specific rules. I can do whatever I want. And I feel like my skin may have been a little bit darker when I got this foundation. Also, my other foundation brush that I usually use with this, so this is the Japanesque, the one that I've been using the most recently, but I do have a Sonia Kashuk that I really love. It just needs to be washed. I hate washing my brushes, but I also try absolutely my hardest not to use brushes that are dirty, because who wants to have bacteria smeared all over their face? And that's what happens when you use dirty brushes. Also, something that I don't ever hear talked about in beauty videos is before you do your makeup, you should wash your hands. And I know that people talk about washing their face pretty frequently. and putting on moisturizer and all the things you do to prep your face, but you should absolutely wash your hands, because if you don't wash your hands, any bacteria that's on your hands, it's going to get all over your tools, it's going to get all over your face, it's going to make it much more likely that you're going to end up with acne or have other skin issues. Also, it's just a good practice. And I'm by no means a germaphobe. I am somebody who is perfectly happy to go out and play in the dirt, but I also definitely don't want to smear bacteria on my face. So in person, that actually looks pretty blended out and good, but when I look in the screen, it still looks really harsh. Okay, well, we'll see what happens when I put the rest of my makeup down. So this is going to be a pretty short video, especially for me, because usually I talk and ramble and go on and on. But because I ended up a day behind, which there's also, I don't think that I even mentioned it, there is one video that's going to be missing completely from the series, because when I went to edit it, the footage of it was completely corrupt. Like it was literally missing chunks of the video, and I had already spent a lot of time trying to get editing to work out with another video, and I wasn't going to go back and refilm it. It was a look that I wasn't that happy with anyway, which maybe would have been a good reason to refilm it. But it does mean that there's one missing from the series, and then also because of my migraines, I ended up a day behind. So to catch up, I realized this is a perfect opportunity, because I can go ahead and get this video edited and put up, and then I can just add to this look to do the next video. So this is going to be all for this one. This is my contour. And turned out okay. So anytime, and I'll probably end up trying to add some powder contour at the end, maybe. But I feel like anytime I try to contour my jawline to make my face look thinner, not only do I not feel like it really makes that big of a difference for my face, and it just ends up looking like you can see the line, and it looks terrible. And I don't know what people do to get such amazingly well blended contours. And I know that it's not the contour kit. I know that this is really a very good contour kit. I am going to go back over my nose since I put foundation on and it kind of just, the contour that was there just sort of disappeared. I'm just going to go really lightly because I do want to be able to see it. Since that's the whole point of today, is being able to do contour. And the reason that I added this to the challenge when I was coming up with ideas is because contour is something that I hadn't really done, and it's something that I want to learn how to do. Even if it's not something that I'm going to get up and do every day, it's something else that is fun and interesting that I can do with makeup, that I can just sort of add a little touch. So that's alright. So that's a contour you can see. I also, you can tell, because usually by the time I start my video I've already put on my base, including my under eyes. So if you ever wonder whether or not what I'm using actually works, this is how dark and sunken in my eyes normally are. I just have very deep set eyes. And so it's not even, a lot of this is just shadow. Like I have right in here, I have kind of the blue that you normally see, and then I have a little bit of yellowing that's over here. But otherwise, most of it is shadow. And it's very difficult to get rid of that. And when I use regular concealers, because my eyes are deep set, they always crease, and they crease a lot, and I end up looking like I have a bunch of wrinkles that I don't really have. I have been pretty fortunate not to start having a lot of wrinkles yet. So I use the Naked Skin, the color corrector in lavender. I've talked about this before, but the only reason I ever used it was because I got it in a free sample, and it's something that I never would have thought to use, and it's something that I don't ever hear anybody talk about. So I just want to make sure that I mention it, so that if you have the same problem that I have, it's something that you can try. And you don't have to get the Urban Decay. I know that NYX makes one. I have a lavender pencil, color corrector pencil, that is made by Japanesque. I think that like L'Oreal and Clairol, I'm sure, make them. I'm sure that all of the drugstore brands probably have something that is in lavender. You just want to make sure that it is a really light and bright lavender, because if you get something that is a little bit deeper purple, you're just going to end up looking like you have black eyes. The reason I prefer the Urban Decay is because I just really like the formula. It's just nice and thin. So here's my contour. Let me know what you think. I am going to go ahead and start the next video, and I thank you all for being here, and the next video will be up tomorrow.